Now my difficulty is maybe by 19, right? So we'll list it tomorrow.
Your Lordship, I'm just saying.
Okay, but you could have also said it in an email. Sorry. Circulate a rejoinder.
Circulate a letter in tomorrow's matter listed at item 26, and for the respondent, we just need
too late now. We'll see tomorrow. Yes, I'm mentioning a matter where I've already sent emails for us. But I've also sent it. It will be dealt with. This meeting. Sure.
Just a query, would your Lordship be taking the part third income tax matter or...
just wait, I've just told the court master, we'll tell you in a minute, yes.
I'm sorry, just one request. There's an order that your Lordship had passed last week, my Lord. It's an arbitration petition. Your Lordship perhaps will recall, Lord, I had made a submission that the pendency or the reference to arbitration will not impact any criminal proceedings that we might initiate. Because our recollection is the Lordship had dictated that in court, my Lord, but it's perhaps not reflected in paragraph 3, my Lord.
Your Lordship,
we also said in the course of the discussion that an arbitration will never affect a criminal prosecution.
But I made that submission, I think.
All right. You have to put something, you have to put something, clarify something which is obvious.
Very good.
So before we begin, what we're proposing to do is that we have the income tax partnered group. NEET is about that today. We'll at least open the NEET matter and then we'll see what to do with the partnered group. We'll hopefully start with the partnered group, but it might just have to wait until we open the NEET matter because there's some urgency in the NEET matter. Young students all over the country are waiting for the outcome of this matter. So, but we are not going to lose session of the income tax matter because we are now also mentally we are in the matter.
But may I suggest, since we have circulated something yesterday, it can be kept tomorrow also.
Let's at least open the NEET matter today because, let's see the matter.
The others can be discharged, etc. Many are procedural matters, item 4, etc.
So what we are doing is, field number 1, for instance, is about bifurcating. We'll take up item 1. So it's bifurcating matters, etc. That will pass procedural direction.
For compliance like that, when your Lordship
right. We just, yes.
Item 1 is not bifurcating. Item 1 is a batch of cases on fringe benefit tax.
Yes, the fringe benefit
tax. Some of the name. Yes. The bifurcation is the gaming matter, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Why is that listed for direction? Because item 1 is only this.
There are two appeals.
Right. The court master says that we have to pass the usual procedural direction for appointing nodal counsel so that they prepare one common compilation. So tell us who will be the nodal counsel.
That's right. Mr. Cooper, I'll give my AOR's name to your Lordship's bench, and one from the department. So 2 of us can read it.
Is there a compilation for the department? Is there a compilation for the
only for the petition?
So now tell us for the petitioners who will be the nodal counsel.
Well, I can volunteer.
Mr. Kunal Kishore can.
Since you've already prepared.
Anisha Karya have already our compilation.
And for the department, Mr. Venkataraman, are you appearing in the one? Okay. You are appearing. Who will be the nodal counsel there?
Mr. Divakar.
Mr. Divakar. So Ms. Manisha Karya and Mr. Divakar will be nodal counsel. Usual orders. And prepare one common compilation duly indexed with written submissions in terms of our last circular. And file it by what date will you file it? Mr. Datar, by what date will you file the compilation?
Your Lordship is posting it in August or July?
We'll post it in August, so we'll give you enough time to file the compilation. You can file the compilation including written submissions by the 31st of July and we'll paste it in August. Alright, so that seal number 1 is over. That way, we have just one compilation, otherwise it becomes impossible to...
Item 2, Millard, the canon matter, Millard, they have put a direction now. It has to be, bench is to be constituted, the act of batch of matters there.
So here also, can we have one compilation, please?
Yes, we can do a
right? So who will be the nodal counsel?
I will.
Charanya will be the...
from our side, V. Chandrasekhar Bharti will be the panel host.
Charanya Lakshmi and Mr. V. Chandrasekhar Bharti. And can you prepare the submissions and compilation by 31st of July?
Definitely.
Then we'll keep it in the first week of August and we'll take this up. Because a lot of matters across India are dependent on this.
Pending.
Thousands.
The thing is, remember very much. Because this matter, the canon matter was passed by 3 judges.
Right.
Therefore, it has to be...
It has to be 3 judges. It'll be before this regular bench.
Yes,
It'll be before me and my two colleagues, so we are seized of the matter.
As it pleases.
Item 3 is the Google matter.
My lord, I appear for Google. Your lordship recalls, your lordship.
What we'll have to do is, are the compilations ready in Google?
Everything is done. My lord, give dates in September.
Today we
Lordship's
started
fine.
only because we have the NEET matter and literally lakhs of
No, but I'm-
the country are waiting for the outcome of this matter.
No, in September, my lord, give dates in September.
Probably in the first week of September, so that we can.
My lord, a little later, I have the Indus Valley dispute before the neutral expert in September.
Second week of September, Marathon.
After 15, my lord. After 15 anyway.
Submissions have not been received, the court master says, so you'll have to email them.
That will make sure, my lord, I'll sort it
All right,
out.
why don't you give us on the side of Mr. Sadhwe one nodal counsel?
Lordships,
Yes.
we have filed it. We filed it on the 3rd of October. We'll file it again. We'll send an email again. It's been filed.
All right, who's the nodal counsel on your side?
So, Chandelier is the nodal counsel.
Mr. Shandile, and what about Mr. Venkatraman, your side?
I've already said in the
We have already appointed nodal counsel. All right, then make sure that that is filed by the 31st of July. All right.
Yes.
gaming matter.
This again, my lord, is the gaming matter.
Are these absolutely ready for,
Union Matters has filed its counsel. Lordship had directed to be filed appointed nodal counsel that has not.
We can do it in a week.
so we set down 31st of July for completing the filing of the compilation.
Maybe 15th August may be better, Malak, but I'll leave it.
Anti-profiting batch we can exclude, but in amongst gaming, no segregation, my lord. Everything has to be heard here.
Agreed. My friend is right. my lord.
One second.
15th August may be better.
This exercise has been done in the registry.
Yes.
The gaming matters we've got separately listed and the anti-profiteering
Yes.
matters are separately.
Correct.
So the
Yes.
they have to be segregated. Now, what we will do is that the learned council can, this has been done by Charanya.
The list is made. Charanya has
Have you looked at it?
Just check it up now. Just give it to me now.
All right, Ms. Charanya Lakshmi Kumaran, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the petitioners, some of the petitioners, has prepared, has prepared a tabulated statement segregating into single inverted commas, gaming into inverted commas, matters from into single inverted commas, anti-profiteering matters. Full stop. The statement is reproduced below. Copy कर लीजिए. Mr. N. Venkatraman, learned ASG, states that he will have this duly verified within the course of within a week. And intimate the registry in regard to whether he agrees on whether the statement reflects the correctness of the statement. Full stop. This may be communicated to the court master no later than by date they digit on the email ID. The compilations are ready.
Counter, and the counter was received by us in the writ petitions on Monday evening. So we need some time to file the rejoinder.
It has to be filed. That may be filed on or before 31 July 2024.
We can.
Lordship, some of the transferred matters, the councils indicated that they would also like to make written submission when we checked with them. So they were waiting for direction.
All right.
for
If
that.
any further written submissions are to be filed, including in the transferred cases, they may be filed with the nodal council to the common compilation. So the written submission shall not exceed 5 pages each. Because
Would your lordship set it down on 31st for directions?
Absolutely.
Would your lordship have it on 31st for directions, my lord?
we'll have it on the 31st of July for directions.
Right.
For directions on the 31st, which is a Wednesday.
Lordship.
Taken first.
All right.
Directions.
Why not so segregated as
We are segregating gaming and the two sets of-
Anti-profiteering.
will be taken
Because
separate.
there are so difficulty in segregating gaming and anti-profiteering. Now, any
That's all.
within gaming is not acceptable.
That's
No,
all.
no.
So we are not asking for it
No,
now.
somebody last time said game of skill should be segregated.
Mr. Venkatraman, now you're giving them ideas.
Yes, correct.
No games. Now.
All right, now, so that covers 4, 19 and 20.
Specific.
So 31st of July, we'll keep it for directions.
Yes.
Just to ensure that everything is complete, then we list it immediately and here.
Great.
Oblige.
Lord.
Matter. Because this is for the gaming matter, now the counter, etc. We have For anti-proctoring matters, there are no directions in terms of
The circular.
permission
Right.
to
So for
file.
the anti-profiteering matters, we'll issue similar procedural directions, same nodal council,
Can be then.
same nodal council, same. And by 31st July, that process must be completed.
We can do that. Publish it.
That is neat.
Please, Williams.
Mr. Ide, we'll now stand back the income tax matters. We are not adjourning it for the day, but in view of the importance of the NEET matters, we'll take up the NEET matters, because, but all the other learned council may step aside and you can have a little time off, but we'll take up the income tax matter because we're not taking up any other heavy matter until we take up that. So NEET only because of the social ramification, we thought we'll give priority to the NEET matter. All right, now,
They're all mixed up. 5, 7, 9 and all that.
now who's going to open the arguments in the NEET matters for the petitioners?
My lord, my item 5 is slightly on a different footing. I am showing not merely the leakage of the examinations, but I am showing the.
Because mine is the first matter wherein the.
Mr. Dwivedi, where are you appearing in this matter? Judge's pension matter. I think you're safe today because, if after this, we are going to take up the partner tax matter, which will take the rest of the day. So, but the judge's pension matter is again important and we will take it up probably next week. We'll list it and take it up. Just a little adjustment to the board, that's all.
As far as item 7, if I can, the writ petition under Article 226 of this candidate is pending before Honorable High Court of Delhi. He has filed writ petition under 32 before this Honorable Court also, saying that I'll withdraw that. This is the third time consecutively where he is alleging that my OMR has been replaced, which is actually.
All right.
That is the.
That we will see what to do there, because that's not about the systemic issue, but about his own OMR sheet. There we may be, who's appearing, which one is that, serial number?
Item 5. My lord, in 514.
So five, why don't you do this? Go to the High Court, whether your OMR sheet has been replaced or not, there is not a systemic issue.
High Court has already passed the judgments. High Court has refused to examine this issue. My lord had delegated.
So why have you filed a writ petition? You have to file an SLP then.
No, my lord, in 2020 I went before Honorable High Court on the directions of this Honorable Court.
But now High Court is held against you.
In 2021.
21 hoga, 20 hoga, 19 hoga,
Now,
23
my
hoga.
lord, since then.
But now tell us, what remedy do you have against that judgment of the High Court?
Against that, even if I come in SLP, my lord cannot grant me an admission. My lord, I am saying I reappear in the examination in the.
Fair enough. We'll entertain your writ.
Yes.
On one condition, that now then we will treat the order of the High Court as attained finality.
Yes.
So we will then hear your writ on the footing that the order of the High Court has attained finality. So you're taking your chance.
My lord, High Court refused to examine the issues. That's the final.
We'll see. We'll see when the matter is called.
My lord, may I?
Mr. Nagamoto, we are seized of the matter. We know how important it is. It's about our own retired judges. But we have the NEET matter today, so we'll give priority to the NEET matter today. We just indicated to Mr. Dwivedi, we'll try and accommodate it sometime next week, so we'll take it up immediately. We'll just give me a little time, so I'll just in the evening discuss the board position with the court master, and then we'll take it because we have to take it up.
My lord, I'm here for item number 6. I have the same prayer that my OMR sheet was replaced and the.
All right, let the matter open up now. If everybody just keeps on giving your individual fact, who's going to open the hearing?
Yes,
open the argument?
mine is the first matter, my lord, where they have filed their responses.
So we'll hear Mr. Huda first.
Yes, my lord, I'll supplement whatever is.
All right, and then we'll hear the solicitor.
Your lordships had an occasion to go through the second status report.
Yes, we have seen the second
Now
stage.
there is something is crystal.
We have seen the second stage.
Yesterday it was.
Yes, I saw it in the morning today, after the day. Both my learned brothers have seen the second stage as well. Oh, that's okay.
Please, lords.
This is yours.
Just one suggestion.
Okay.
All my. Okay, do the first play. lord, in item 5, may I please request that the first prayer is, my lord, that
You're not arguing it. You have somebody before you who is to argue his matter.
they are in item 7 and item 5, I am making a request.
But which is the lead prayer? Which is the lead matter? Are you prepared to argue the whole matter on the leak, etc.?
No, I'm on the, not on the leave aspect, my lord.
Then why are you interrupting the flow of the proceedings, you know? Allow somebody who is arguing the main matter to take charge, right? We'll hear you at the end, no problem.
May please, Lord. Lord, two, three things at the outset, Lord. As per my Lord's direction, CBI was supposed to file their status report. Filing we understood it will be filed and it will be supplied to us. And that was the direction.
The only problem is this.
And
The only problem is this today. I mean, I'm all for transparency. In fact, this is not a sealed cover procedure. Let me be very clear. But today an investigation is going on.
I might follow that.
If what CBI has told us in the course of the investigation is revealed, probably the investigation will get scuttled because people will become wise on what are the leads which have emerged in the course of the investigation. So that's the only problem.
I bow down, Lord, straight away. My only, you see, the intervention in between will cause a problem.
And so what we would like you to do, Mr. Huda, is
Please.
you have to, you know, redaction is not possible in these kind. If it's redacted, then it'll have nothing of it'll have nothing of substance. You will have to show us, prima facie on the basis of your submissions, that the leak is so systemic and has affected the entire examination process across the country that we must cancel the examination and direct a fresh examination to be held.
Yes.
That is the area where we want to hear you. And then we'll hear the learned solicitor in response to that.
I will assess this honorable court.
Then,
that
just 1 second. The second, we have some ideas also on what we are going to pose to the solicitor thereafter.
Please, Lord.
We would like you to assist us on assuming, if we accept your wider submission that you must have a fresh NEET examination, then that's what you exactly want. Suppose in the alternative, after hearing you both, we are not with you, then we would like you to also assist the court on which are the further lines of investigation, what are the lines of investigation which must be carried out, in the sense that which are the specific issues which must be investigated. So we would like your assistance on both. The other is an alternate argument.
Yes, but the alternative argument has also come in my supplementary note which I circulated yesterday.
Okay,
in the same matter, I have suggested that this is the line of investigation should be conducted to unearth this entire controversy.
All right, then we'll look at that. Later on, we'll read it with you.
At the outset, Lord, I was flagging my handicap in assisting. I'm assisting. I'm not saying that. But the handicap I have in assisting this honorable court in this leak matter, one, they have not declared the entire result. They have declared the result of 100 people. And my assistance is information gathered from here and there. The UPSC, Lord, in IAS exam, they declared the result of entire people. At least they should have declared the result of this 1 lakh people who get admission. First 50,000 in the medical colleges.
Just 1 second.
The two handicaps, Lord, may kindly notice, I will have in the course of my assistance to this honorable court.
First 50,000. How many seats in the government medical colleges?
56,000. And Lord, everybody clamor for these first 56,000. Even the people below 56,000 may be willing to go for a re-examination.
And how many in the private medical colleges?
52,000. 56 and 52. That is 1,08,000. Now, Lord, if re-exam happens, literally it is, if all of them do not want re-examination, the total number is 1,08,000 people, not 23 lakh people. The remaining 22 lakh people,
Your Lordship, my lord, because your Lordship will get the context. Thereafter, my lord, it was transferred to EOU. Kindly have a look at, my lord, page 132. Amit Anand's statement recorded by EOU. It's more elaborate and a little more in-depth. Your Lordship gets, my lord, 132.
At the last word on page 131.
Yes.
दिनांक 4/5 को इनके साला व पत्नी रीना देवी तथा साला स्वयंसो जिन्होंने गेस्ट हाउस में रुकवा दिया.
Yes. They all gathered at night, my lord. That is true.
पूर्व निर्धारित योजना अनुसार दिनांक 4/5 को रात्रि में उक्त चारों अभ्यर्थियों को सगुना मोड़ थोबल रोड में अमित आनंद एवं नीतीश कुमार को नीट 2024 परीक्षा में आने वाले प्रश्नोत्तर रटवाने के लिए सौंप दिए थे.
They were handed over. You get them memory.
investigation is botched up by the stand being taken by Government of India, my lord. The matter is under investigation. The kind of stand being
Then
taken.
allow, don't take it Government of India. I am answerable to these students. I am answerable to other students. And more, I am answerable to the court. Well, let us not do it like this.
Yet it's analyzing these cases.
Yes, my lord, all of them were gathered.
Amit Anand seems to be suggesting that the leaked question papers were given to the students from memorization on the night of the 4th.
No, my lords. What happens is, what actually happened during the CBI investigation is, all students were gathered and put at a particular place so as to enable them to memorize as and when the paper is available, which comes, my lord, from the statement of Amit Anand. My lord, please read statement of Amit Anand. Your lordships are on page 132. I am just reading the bare facts. I am not, my lord, taking any stand. Page 132, Amit Anand, my lords. Thereafter, Nitish Kumar. They are giving statements when they were not obviously aware that this would be scrutinized by the court. So this is a first-hand account.
The papers were running.
Assistance may be incomplete. That's all I'm saying. Kindly report. Second report. Para 90. No, before that, would your lordships accept my request of reading two more statements from EOU? In this context, please read the report.
Okay. Just
It
only
would
one.
be not incomplete picture in your lordship's mind.
Just keep that page in 1 minute.
132.
See, it's well.
para 97 onwards, in the second report, your lordships would find assistance for this particular part.
Sir, Solicitor, you just look at now those two statements you were saying, telling us something.
132, Manoj.
132.
That's not in the Bihar police statement, a statement recorded by EOU. Initially it was local police, transferred to economic offences wing, where, Manoj, it is a little more detailed, page 132 at the foot.
That is Amit Anand.
Amit Anand, yes, Manoj, his statement. Kindly come to the next page, 133. I am not skipping what is not relevant either way for the present purpose, Manoj. Kindly see from the 10th line, somewhere 10th line from the bottom. इस पर सिकंदर प्रसाद यादवेंद्र बोले, your lordship gets some, कि उनके पास भी 4-5 लड़का है जो परीक्षा देने वाले हैं, उसे आप परीक्षा में पास करा दीजिए, इसके बदले में स्वयं वे बताए कि 4 लड़का हम आपको देंगे। ये नो काइंडली सी दिस, मतलब ये दिनांक 4/5/24 को रात्रि में सिकंदर प्रसाद यादवेंदु से उन 4 अभ्यर्थियों का सो से प्राप्त किए तथा अपने कार से 4 को लेकर नीतीश कुमार के पास न्यू बाईपास चले गए। प्लीज मार्क दिस। नीतीश कुमार अपने एवं उनके अन्य अभ्यर्थियों को लेकर लर्नेड बॉयज स्कूल एवं सो में लेकर चला गया, जहां पर सभी विद्यार्थियों को अगले दिन करीब 10 बजे नीट का प्रश्न उत्तर सहित रटवा दिया गया। 10 बजे। नाउ प्लीज सी, ये भी अपने परीक्षार्थी एवं अन्य परीक्षार्थी तथा सिकंदर प्रसाद के साथ परीक्षा केंद्रों पर घूम कर सभी को सेंटर पर पहुंचा दिए और अपने फ्लैट पर पहुंच गए और खाना खाए एक्सेट्रा। काइंडली सी द नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट ऑफ नीतीश कुमार. Nitish Kumar is the person who not only brings students, he was at that school, Learn Boys School. The lordships can come to page 134, 7 lines from the bottom. उसके बाद दिनांक 4/5, your lordship gets page 134. I can read the whole, but it may not assist either way. For this particular purpose of date, Manoj. Does your lordship get the date? उसके बाद दिनांक 4/5 को रात्रि में अमित आनंद द्वारा सेटिंग किए गए 6 लड़के जो अमित ने मुझे नई बाईपास अपने कार से लाकर दे दिए थे, सिकंदर प्रसाद यादवेंद्र के 4 लड़के तथा अमित आनंद के 2 लड़के को लर्न बॉय हॉस्टल एवं लर्न बॉय स्कूल जो रामाकृष्ण नगर में है पर लेकर गया। वहां सभी लड़कों को चिंटू उर्फ बलदेव कुमार पिता सो गांव सो एवं सो को हैंडओवर कर दिए। इनसे इनकी बात सो के मोबाइल नंबर सो पर होती रही। यह हॉस्टल एवं स्कूल आशुतोष कुमार द्वारा किराए पर लिया हुआ है। आशुतोष कुमार इज द ओनर ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रीमाइसेस वेयर दिस हैपेंड, जिसने इनका संपर्क सो के माध्यम से इसी काम से लिए हुआ था ना। नाउ रीड दिस। जिसे चिंटू उर्फ सो ने एक दिन के लिए सेट किया था और आशुतोष कुमार से मोटे रकम में हिस्सेदारी की बात की थी। दिनांक 5/5 को चिंटू के मोबाइल के व्हाट्सएप पर
statements 88 and 132 are at variance.
At variance.
88, he says that the leak had taken place place on the night of the 4th, when the question paper was given to these candidates for memorization. 132, it says that it was received on the mobile of Chintu in the morning on the 5th, and then was given to the students. Rakka lagane ke liye diya tha. So Amit Anand's two statements are a little at variance.
Amit Anand's first
And
statement.
Nitish is also at variance, but Nitish's first statement is also 4th night. Like,
But Lord,
all
yes,
first statements seem to indicate that the leak takes place on the night of the 4th.
but I must tell your lordships, Lord, on the
Question is, how was this confined to Learned Boys High School? Was it confined to Hazaribagh?
I'll answer that, my lord, when my turn comes.
That's what I'm worried
But, my lord, kindly appreciate this.
So it's because the line which we are following of inquiry is, if the leak has taken place on the night of the 4th, then obviously the leak has not taken, it wouldn't take place from the strong room of SBI or Canara Bank. Nobody can access the strong room. And obviously the leak took place not in the process of the papers being transferred to the examination center. It takes place at a prior point of time, prior to the storage in the vault.
Which we have examined and found to be every thing to be intact, I'll be able to show. But please see, my lord, statement of Chintu at page
Find
236.
that two of the problem solvers are at least 7. All problem solvers are students. None of them is a professor. Nobody is of that level of an expert. They're all students.
I was told that for this work, professors, the students are better qualified because they have recently prepared everything. They have the computer with them. They have books with them.
They are from Ames Patna. One is from Ranchi, and 2 are brought one from Rajasthan.
Yes. Now, what is done is,
Brought from Rajasthan.
that is not under investigation, my lord, because maybe there is some personal linkage or something. But what they did was, they bifurcated the papers, so each got 25 to 30 questions each. And they had 1 hour. 25 to 30 questions with a reasonable knowledge and with help of computer and books, you can always solve.
Now what we do, Mr.
And we have also, my lord, kindly bear one factor in mind. We have done an exercise after the last hearing as to what is the success rate in this particular center, this particular city and overall state, and we compared it with 22 and 23. There is no abnormality. Even in this, which I'll be able to show. And my lord, kindly 236, my lord, page,
You can now show us the
my lord, page
data.
236, the last page.
Then we get completion.
My lord, 236.
This is Chintu's.
Yes, Chintu Baldev Kumar, my lord, at the last, my lord, para. Dinank 5/5.
Is there an earlier statement of Chintu also?
Chintu, no. No, he was arrested only on that day by the EOI. He was not arrested by the, my lord, local police. So there is only one statement. We must be having our statement. We have our statement recorded after
Matter, come to page 229.
229 minutes.
Chintu.
This is also a statement of Chintu.
The same statement minutes.
Is it a continuation?
Is it?
This
But it's the same statement. I don't know why they have repeated, but
ends at 232.
yes, my lord. And if your lordship sees, my lord, page 231,
Read the second paragraph.
look, 231 minutes.
Yes.
Yes. My lord, the same is I was showing at 236. So it appears to be a repetition. But I'll read, my lord, from 231, my lord, as your lordships have seen. दिनांक 5/5/24 को 9 बजे प्रातः तक करीब 24-25 नीट यूजी 2000 परीक्षा देने वाले अभ्यर्थी वहां पर जमा हो गए थे मैं पीने वाला पानी का बोतल भी वहां गाड़ी से पहुंचाया था। दिन के करीब 10 बजे रॉकी ने मेरे पास मौजूद नए मोबाइल पर सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र भेजा। मामा संजीव एवं रॉकी के गिरोह के एक लड़के ने मुझे वाईफाई प्रिंटर दिया था, जिसे नीतीश कुमार द्वारा लर्न प्ले स्कूल छपरा के रूम में सेट किया गया था। सो द्वारा भी एक वाईफाई प्रिंटर दिया गया था। सबसे पहले सो का सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र मिला, जिसे हमें लोगों ने मोबाइल को वाईफाई प्रिंटर से कनेक्ट कर सॉल्व कर दिया। As and when they started solving the papers, they started giving. It was not given in one go. First was biology. कनेक्ट कर सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र का प्रिंट निकाला और उपस्थित सभी अभ्यर्थी को सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र का प्रिंट रटने के लिए दिया गया। इसके बाद फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री का सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र एक साथ मिला।
You can show us the data which you have now. What do you have to say on the basis of the data?
Yes,
Then
but
it's-
before-
All India data or whatever. We have all India data.
I will show.
We'll hear them on the response on the data. So,
Lord, allow me first, Lord, just give their.
Only 236, Manoj, Justice Pardiwala has Manoj. 236 which I was reading is the same which your lordships,
they're identical.
they're identical. Manoj, I do not know why they are two similar statements.
Please read Anurag Yadav, he's the only student. All the other people are members of the gang. Anurag Yadav's first statement.
We've read Anurag. We've read Anurag Yadav's
Yes, sir.
Quran.
Might read 131 of the.
They've got that at page 131.
Lord,
Anurag Yadav says, I got it on the night of the 4th.
yes.
But now, anyway, we still have to see whether it's localized, assuming for a moment.
We
That the theory that the paper was distributed, that the solved question papers were made available at about 10:15. And between 9:20 and 10:15, these 7 chaps solved all the questions and gave to the school. Assume that we for a moment, we may not entirely accept that. We have to hear the other side. Even so, is the leak systemic or is it only confined to Hazaribagh and Patna? That we'll have to establish something on the basis of data.
Yes, Lord.
To us now what the data tells you.
Lord, before I come to data,
Up to now, we are only focused on Hazaribagh and Patna, right? Whether the leak takes place on the morning of the 5th, as CBI is telling us, whether it took place on the night of the 4th, and therefore the leak took place before lodging in the vault. How widespread is it? We don't have any other material apart from this that you have shown us. To indicate that the leak was so widespread that it had gone all over the country. Now show us the data which will
yes, Lord, allow
support
me,
your
Lord,
case.
just 4 or 5 minutes before I come to the data. Lord, Lord, because between the last date and today, we have got a lot of information that how actually this exam is being conducted by this NTA. Lord, very briefly, Lord, because
Assuming that the examination should be conducted in a much better way.
I'm not on that, Lord.
That way, we will see what they are doing
Lord,
for the
I will
future.
show why a particular data is as such. Just give me 2-3 minutes, Lord, before that. Lord, NDA, Lord, on the first date, this Honorable Court put it to them. Give us the complete chart that where the printing happened, how much time printing, how much time it reached the center, then where deposited, what time it was taken out, taken to the center, how much time is the examination.
As we find out now, printing takes place, the CBI third report tells us where printing takes place.
At 2 places, Manoj, different states, and they are never declared or tendered.
We don't want to mention that because obviously that will.
We don't also tender, because otherwise the highest tenderer becomes open.
Lord,
that he is the printer. Whoever is the highest tenderer becomes the printer.
From CBI's third report, we find out the name of one place where the printing press was situated, where it says 28 28th April, it had left that printing.
If your lordships, I'll take your lordship through the journey of the papers from the printing press till the school, and what are the checks and balances on real-time basis, that there is some tampering, it would be noticed somewhere. That I'll be able to show.
People very briefly capture that. 24th of April, they say that the dispatch happens to different centers. So far as Hazaribagh is concerned, 28th of April. Everywhere, the question paper was to reach the respective banks on 3rd of May. And 5th of May is the examination. So the question paper remained in private hands for fairly long time. From 24th of April till 3rd of May. I leave it there, Lord. They say that from everywhere, the center in charge will go to the bank in the morning. Lord, I'm showing the mechanism and how brittle and fragile the mechanism is, that the entire mechanism which they have followed.
Wait, just give us the facts.
Yes. Now, in the morning, they say 8:15, the center in charge of the examination will reach the bank to collect the paper. What has actually happened, which is the documents on record, taking example of Dayal School, Bahadurgarh, Jhajjar, Hardayal School, Bahadurgarh, Jhajjar, the principal of the center goes to both the banks, collect papers from both the banks, distributes the paper taken from Canara Bank. Paper taken from Canara Bank is allowed to be attempted for all 3 hours and 20 minutes. And then they say that the over and above, because on 4th of April, they did not declare any other key except the key for SBI bank question paper. When it appeared that from this Hardayal School, Jhajjar, there are 6 candidates who get number 1, 100% marks, 720 out of 720. 2 candidates get 719 and 718. So it came out that how come from this center 8 people comes within first 69 and this number is not possible. NTA came out with a theory that no, we have given a grace marks because there is a delay. I have seen the video of the principal of this Hardayal school, which says, and it is openable even now, which says that there was no delay in this center. In fact, we distributed Canara Bank paper when it was already half an hour.
The correct set was to be the SBI paper.
Correct, that's right, that's right.
Everywhere.
And they declared, entire country.
It's not everywhere.
Entire country, Lord.
Entire country was SBA. Yes, your lordship, sir.
Of course, different configuration, that the Mishra said, because the questions will be jumbled up.
Even in the one classroom.
Yeah, obviously.
In one classroom also.
They next to each other can't know which is the order.
Which is the order. One of the things which is going on in the social media is that 2 numbers sitting with each other, both got 600 marks. How is it possible? But both would have, the system is that both sitting in front and back and both sitting on the sides, they have different marks.
The same order of questions.
They don't have. My question number 1 would be his question number 80.
Do that in the judicial.
So we can't even do that. Orthodox way of cheating also is not
Let me
possible.
place the hard facts, Lord, how they have done it. So Hardayal school, admittedly, they distributed Canara Bank. The Canara Bank question paper was attempted by all the about 500 people in the
For
center.
how long?
For till 5:20 is the last time. There is no delay. The principal is on record of the school and they say,
So it's not that in the middle of the exam they substitute the SBI.
look, that happened Savai Madhopur. I'll come to that. Hardayal school, Canara Bank paper was given. In the first instance, when Canara Bank paper was not to be the paper to be attempted, how come it was even given to them? What is the SOP? How meticulously they followed it, what they saying. And the principal got question paper from both the banks and both banks gave it.
Mr. Solicitor, just since a little bit of query on the procedural. One set is lodged with CamBank, one is with SBI. Now, the center in charge on the morning of the exam goes to both the banks and takes the question.
The city in charge is informed that this is the bank from where you will have to collect the paper.
Let's see inform the day of the exam?
In the morning at 7
So
o'clock.
the city in charge will inform all the centers in charge in the morning that you have to go to this particular
This
branch.
particular center,
Now, how did this chap at Jajjar, go and collect it from Canara Bank when he must have been told that you have to go to the SBI to collect the paper?
no, that may be a mistake or something. Or deliberate, but paper was,
Now, Jajjar, we just wanted some clarity on Jajjar. So he collects the paper from the Canara Bank.
correct, my lords.
Students write, throughout the 3 hours and 20 minutes, they write the Canara Bank sets of questions, right? Now, thereafter, what happens in Jajjar? Everybody is given grace mark, or what happens in Jajjar?
But what they say is, because they never disclose E for Canara Bank paper.
One second, let's have clarity. We just ask questions.
Yes, my lord, I learned it and can.
It's,
Just one second. He has his instructions. Let's get the official version first. For Jajjar,
yes, please.
what happened exactly in Jajjar?
So Jajjar was a new center. Your lordships are aware the number of candidates have increased. As a result whereof, we have to increase the number of centers also and city coordinators also. This place was added for the first time in 2024 as an examination center. Perhaps the city coordinator must not have seen the message that you have to pick it up from this place. As a result whereof, this happened to be picked up from both the places.
But are the banks not informed that, look, don't release the Can Bank paper to anybody, release only the State Bank of India paper?
Let's-
Because the vault in charge has to be informed कि आपको paper surrender करना है आज, आपको distribute करना है.
Authorization is given,
Because the NTA would inform the city in charge.
yes, please.
City in charge will relay the message to the center in charge.
Yes.
But will a message not go to the bank also that, all right, Can Bank का आपको अपने locker में ही रखना है, State Bank of India का जो paper है वो आपको distribute करना है.
It goes to the bank. Also committed. It goes to.
Definitely go to the bank also. So how did this bloke at Jajjar, the center in charge, how did he go to Canara Bank and retrieve the Canara Bank paper?
That is a mistake on their part,
It was Canara Bank's mistake.
not just. Both units at both places, city coordinator.
So anyway, so the Jajjar in charge gets the center in charge gets the Canara Bank paper.
Yes, please.
That is distributed to the candidates, and the candidates write the entire exam for 3 hours, 20 minutes on the Can Bank paper.
Lordship. And this is at 8 centers. The number of such candidates who got Canara Bank paper is 3,307. And their sequence is MNOP. And we have used the
So at Jajjar, how many there are 8 centers?
8 centers.
And everywhere they.
All over India,
All over India, not.
all over India, it has happened at 8 centers.
All over India.
All over India. Some places, like Chhattisgarh, your lordships came to know.
With the wrong question paper.
Yes, not confined to
Question
Jajjar.
papers, my lord, are of the same
Difficulty
difficulty level. It's not as if one is simpler and another.
At 8 centers, the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes, please.
Which was the Canbang booklet.
Yes, please. Only two booklets are available. There is no.
Then what happened in Jhajjar? Then the students wrote the whole of the paper for
Yes.
3 hours, 20 minutes of
Yes,
Jhajjar.
because of the situation, let's that it could not be discovered by them that we have distributed a wrong paper. It came to the knowledge much later. As a result whereof, it was considered
Then
more
what happened?
appropriate.
Then what happened?
It was considered more appropriate to allow them to attempt this question paper only.
First they give
But
grace
one
mark.
second, we are just understanding what happened. So the students are allowed, they appeared for the entire examination in the.
Yes, on the basis of Canara Bank question paper. And the difficulty level of this question, both the papers because anyone can be distributed, are modulated by the experts to be of the same level.
Now, where was the occasion to give totally how many students at these 8 centers?
8 centers, total number of students is 3,307.
Now, initially NTA takes a decision to award grace marks to those students?
No, it's only after it came to be realized that some places the loss of time was there. Only then the decision was taken.
Loss of time means what?
After realizing when the complaints are there, students approach the honorable courts also saying that because of wrong distribution of paper, we could not avail the exact number of exact time which is available to the others.
Why? Because students had appeared for the full 3 hours, 20 minutes. It is not as if that the correct paper was circulated midway through the exam. Suppose sometimes what happens is that the incorrect paper is given. Instead of algebra, you give the English paper. By the time the algebra paper comes, half an hour has gone by. Students were never given the SBI paper at these 8 centers. They were given only the Canbank paper.
At Jhajjar this happened. At some places, this was withdrawn and correct paper was also given. There are centers where this happened, like in Chhattisgarh.
Now, how many centers was
Just
the,
verify,
at how many centers was the incorrect question paper withdrawn?
I am appearing for NT also. I am appearing for both.
Kaushik, at how many centers was the incorrect question paper withdrawn?
Withdrawn and correct
Exactly,
paper.
that's all. In some centers, even after realizing that instead of Canara, SBI is given or
They continue to write.
they continued to write and 3 hours, 20 minutes time allotted was given. So we are not concerned with that. In some cases,
They withdrew that.
they withdrew it halfway and said that now we are giving you another because
How many centers did that happen?
that figure is not 1, 3.
I'll come to Savai Madhupur.
This is an isolation.
I'll come to all that. But if they can respond to
63 students were such that we, as per our examination, that the papers were taken back halfway and they were asked to complete the new paper within that 320 minutes.
But where
That would
only
not
Canara
happen.
Bank. But halfway this is a different story. But halfway is a different story. First is the Canara Bank.
At 8 centers, we found that wrong booklet was distributed. Now, at all these 8 centers, the students complete the examination only in the Canara Bank booklet.
Yes, how many?
Canara Bank only minutes.
8 centers.
This is,
8 centers, right?
this we will further bifurcate.
Now, tell us, how many centers apart from these 8 was the wrong booklet withdrawn and the correct
Yes,
booklet given
please.
to the
I
students?
will give the correct number of that also.
Yeah, just ask.
We'll bifurcate. Yes, please.
Just you can sit down and ask the problem.
In the meantime, I can.
Just 1 second with them. We'll also have a little break for 10 seconds.
think Jajjar, when I received the instructions. Jajjar has 3 centers.
Yes.
In one, entire Canara paper was attempted and nobody disturbed the students thereafter. Remaining 2, realizing the mistake, paper was taken back halfway and new paper was given. Therefore, they said that we did not get sufficient time, which was true.
Right. Now, why were the grace marks added then?
Initially, my lord, it was decided, which according to me, my lord, was not a very correct decision, that there is some judgment of your lordships in case of a
That's that.
null's clat, my lord. That if there is a time problem, if time is less, time available to the student is less, then this is the methodology by which you give the grace marks. That grace marks were given. Thereafter, my lord, that decision was.
What did he call in a retest process?
Yes, that was, those who did not get the time will get a new paper and new 3 hour 20 minutes.
Now, that retest was held for 1563 students.
Yes.
Now, these 1563 students were drawn from which center? Like?
Lord, wherever there was a time gap.
Retest is held, that's really now, that then the.
There are 2-3 things into it. One, why grace marks to the students who attempted Canara Bank paper? Why grace marks? On 4th of June, they were granted, on 4th of June, they declared only one key. That is the SBI Bank question paper key. There was no Canara Bank paper key.
Only 1 second.
How they evaluated those people without declaring a key?
Now this grace mark was given initially to whom?
Grace mark was given to the center numbers, which we have given the time number also, which is 1.
Was the grace mark given to only those who had to give, who got the SBI paper in the midstream, or what happened?
The grace marks were given only to those persons from whom the paper was initially given, which was withdrawn, and subsequently given the correct paper.
Right.
That is all. In some.
Now, what happened to those students who appeared in the wrong paper, the Can Bank paper?
Their marks were given on the basis of the answer key of their sequence paper.
And they were not made to have the reason.
No, no.
Because the level of difficulty is up.
Say.
Now, so therefore the grace marks were given only to those whose papers were withdrawn and given the
Yes,
because they couldn't complete the
which
paper.
we counted as 1563.
Which you counted as 153.
Based upon reports of city coordinators and CCTV footage.
8 centers across the country where the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes, minutes, and
Now those 8 centers includes the 3 Jhajjar?
one of them at Jhajjar.
Two of them.
No, wrong distribution is.
Two of them.
Third was 100% Canara.
Two at Jhajjar.
Two at Jhajjar.
Yes, minutes.
Where the wrong booklet was distributed and then recalled.
Recalled and grace mark was given to those candidates.
Now, in the 8 centers across India, the same position that the papers were
Paper
withdrawn?
given time was not sufficient and therefore grace mark. Out of 4750 centers, this occurred, my lord, in 8 centers. 4,750 are the total number of centers throughout the country.
So 8, it happened that the wrong booklet was.
The wrong booklet, my lord. Whenever, for example, Jhajjar, out of 3, 1, they completed. They were not,
They have not been given a retest, they are being dated. So 1.
they are evaluated based on their answers, my lord.
It's actually incorrect. Let me clarify it. And then the senior colleague gave 3,300 are the total student where the wrong booklet was given, withdrawn midway.
No. And allowed to continue 3,000. Minutes, they are 3,000 were allowed to continue. 3,300 they were wrong paper. They attempted the wrong question paper.
Okay.
150. Yes.
Now, what the next question comes is, on 4th of June, when they declared the result, on their website, they declared only one key. One key means only
SBI.
SBI. They didn't declare any other key. How they evaluated Canara Bank questions which was attempted, and where is this separate result they declared for this 3,000 people who attempted Canara Bank paper?
Must have a key for Canada Bank also.
There is no key declared by them, my lord, till today. Let them show it today now.
Today.
No, my lord. 1, 2.
All right. Now I'll tell you what. This is all okay. Now show us the data. Let's go into the heart.
Let me complete it. Now, in this Hardyal school, where originally there were 8 people who came,
At the end of it, assuming that
Lord,
problem happened.
data is a circumstantial evidence.
We are looking at the entire country now. Show us the data. And that's the heart of the matter.
Lord, I will just allow me 2 minutes, Lord, because this.
You said 2 minutes, 11:25. We are not.
In the meantime, they start, Lord. Let me just quickly complete it. I was dealing with Hardyal school, Lord. Allow me to just to complete 2-3 centers, and then I'll straight away come to the data. Hardyal school, 500 students, they attempted Canara Bank paper. Just notice in Lord and let them respond at the end.
All right, we just Hardyal school. Jhajjar, no?
That's right, Bahadurgarh Jhajjar.
Yes.
Canara Bank paper, no Canara Bank paper key available till date. After re-examination, all the students were taken in the re-examination. Though there was no delay, admittedly, in distributing question paper, will answer it.
8 centers. Throughout. And as my learned friend rightly pointed out, they were given an option to retain the earlier marks.
And
They
all
didn't
is,
take a chance. That
and
was-
all is being done behind the curtain. Nothing was declared. Every day they have been giving press release, but with regard to this, there is not a single press release.
Which, if you can ask, if you can just make a note of these 4 points, Mr. Solicitor and Mr. Kaushik. 1, how many centers, at how many centers were Canara Bank papers distributed? At how many centers totally were Canara Bank question booklets distributed? Out of those centers, at how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced?
Yes, please.
at how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced, namely of the State Bank of India?
Yes.
How many centers totally where the questions which were evaluated were the Canara Bank paper, the Canara Bank booklets?
Yes.
Whether there were any centers which were evaluated on the basis of the Canara Bank booklet?
Yes.
All right?
On paper was evaluated.
The paper was evaluated. And fourth, once the Canara Bank papers were evaluated, how did the candidates fare there?
This is the key which they have never declared till date. Canara Bank.
Why have you not declared the key of the Canara Bank papers?
Yes, please. Yes.
And finally, I want to know this, that before I formulate the question, suppose you and I go to Canara Bank or to State Bank of India and say, give me the question paper. You will not be given the question paper, right? How does Can Bank know that I'm the right person who is authorized to? So there has to be a letter of authorization,
It's identity.
right?
Yes.
Now, who issues the letter of authorization?
Yes, please.
Letter of authorization is issued by the district in charge.
Okay.
Director General NT.
Director General of NTA.
NTA to the city superintendent as well as centers coordinators.
Now, what does a person take to the bank? Suppose I am the center in charge.
Yes.
Will I have an authorization both for SBI and for Can Bank, or I'll have only one authorization? Just ask that.
City coordinator is authorized. I'm sorry. Only city coordinator is authorized, not centers. He
So the
distributes.
city coordinator is authorized to go to one of the two banks.
Yes.
Now, therefore, that authorization is given to the city coordinator when? When is that given to him?
In advance.
But is the authorization given for both the banks or only one bank?
I think should be for both
ask
banks
this
logically. For both the banks. Any, from which bank? It is given, authorization is given 3 days prior to the exam
For both the banks.
for both the banks. Then
The city coordinator.
he is informed in the morning that you go to one of these banks and collect.
Now, if the city coordinator, suppose city coordinator was told in the morning of the 5th that you have to go to SBI. Right? Now that city coordinator would have all the centers in that city will be under his control. Right? Now, did the city coordinator in this case at Jhajjar go to the Can Bank and get Can Bank papers which were then distributed to all the centers in his jurisdiction, or some centers got SBI and some centers got...
That will have to be followed.
Collected
Actually will correct.
Collected both.
Collected both.
Collected both.
How did the city center, how did the city coordinator collect both? I mean, city coordinator at Jhajjar, he should have gone only to SBI.
Only one bank.
Right?
Yes.
Now, he went to Can Bank and he went to SBI both. Now, all the centers under him, did he distribute the Can Bank question paper?
That's one center Can Bank paper was distributed, which was allowed to be continued. Two centers, the question paper was distributed Can Bank, but it was withdrawn and SBI was given, that resulting in loss of time.
All Can banks distributed, 2 of them realized the mistake
And
withdrew
Who realized the mistake?
out of the center coordinator.
No, but the center coordinator will...
Not normally, no, will take a.
center superintendents are different. City coordinator is for all the 3 centers.
Right. So at Jhajjar there were 3 centers.
Yes, please.
Right? So he distributed, he distributed the Kanban paper to all three?
All three initially. And let's in from two, it was withdrawn and correct question paper was
But
distributed.
then why did he not withdraw it from one?
That we'll have to let's ask.
If he realized that he has made a mistake, he would have gone to all the three centers and said, look, I better give you the correct center. Why did
Time lapse may be the only reason. It was realized at the other center. By that time, maybe the time gap had gone beyond the reasonable times.
take extra things on that?
That's an assumption.
Yes. We will take specific instructions. We'll prepare a note on all these 6 questions minutes and
You are right. Authorization will be given in advance. You can't give authorization in the morning. Then he's informed how? He's informed on his phone.
on what the minutes app, which is created for the purpose of
Who
coordination.
informs him?
There is an NTA
The
app.
NTA will inform everyone across the country.
Yes, through the specific app created for this purpose of
That will be informed at 8 o'clock or so in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock.
There is an
And he
application.
was informed, go to the SBI.
Yes, please.
He went to both.
Yes.
But is Canbank not informed that, look, your paper now don't distribute? Representative NTA would be informing the Canbank that, look, your paper is not to be distributed. And he would inform SBI that only your paper is to be distributed, right?
Message goes to both the custodian as well as the city coordinator.
Then how did
Where the
Canbank
lapse has
distribute?
taken-
How did Canbank distribute it?
Where the lapse has taken place, we'll find out minutes and
There appears to be a lapse.
Right.
yes, that lapse is there.
Lord, there is another blunder. Hardyal School, in the first instance, despite the Canara Bank paper was given, allowed to be attempted, they gave grace marks to the students who appeared in the Hardyal School, and because of grace marks, 2 of the 8 students who came in the first
So,
topper.
Hardyal School, where the Canbank paper was distributed,
Yes.
students were given grace.
They gave grace marks,
Why?
and the evidence of grace marks is, out of the 2 students in the first 8 from the Hardyal School, they got 718 and 719 marks. When we questioned that how come anybody get this marks, they say it is because of grace marks, otherwise it's not possible.
So, grace marks were given in Hardyal School.
Even for Hardyal School, because on 4th of June, there was only 1 key.
So, grace marks were given only for 1563 students, right?
That's right. For all students, Lord, I believe.
No, not schools.
And thereafter, all these students were put in a re-examination. How, if Canara Bank paper was given and it was to be evaluated, where is the question of first giving them grace marks and then withdrawing the grace marks and putting them to again a retest?
It was a mistake which was corrected and retest. Now it's also.
Try to give a
Let
grace
us
to
for
Canara
taste of the
Bank
entire country
students.
based
Let
on
them answer now.
Why did you give grace marks to the Canara Bank students?
No, it was not given to the
Whenever they were,
One second.
whenever Canara
Who
paper
got
was,
the grace mark? Which body of students got the grace marks?
wherever Canara Bank's paper, the wrong paper, I use it wrong paper, was initially given, taken back, and the new paper was given,
Grace marks.
resulting into the time not being available, grace marks were given.
So, do we understand you right? That grace marks were not given to those students who had appeared for the Canara Bank booklet, but who had completed the entire booklet.
Yes, yes.
They were not given.
No, not yet.
So, grace marks were given to only those students to whom a wrong booklet was given and it was withdrawn. Is that right? Is that valid?
Yes.
Lord, I will falsify the stand just now. Their response to my note at page 19, they have reproduced a table where grace marks have been given. In that table, the center 230701 Haryana Jhajjar Hardyal School, they say that grace marks have been given. Please check it. This is what they have filed before this honorable court. And 287.
Hardyal School is a situation where the students attempted only the Canbank paper.
Correct. And they
But did any student at Hardyal School get grace marks?
they got a grace marks. So this is how they have conducted.
1 second. Mr. Kaushik,
Yes, please.
did students at Hardyal School also get grace marks?
This is what it is.
I'll take specific clarification.
Just find out.
It's a systemic failure. We were facing years. Given only for Hardayal school, not the other two schools. Let them.
For the reason, I'll
Only in Hardayal school based.
Grace marks to given where?
grace marks were given only to Hardayal school.
Yes.
Just it's not, they are trying to misrepresent facts without knowing the clear picture.
That's why we are absolutely with an open mind. We wanted to disclose. I mean,
Yes,
that-
sir. Which I am instructed to say suffered loss of time despite the fact that they attempted Canara Bank question paper.
Why don't you do this in the afternoon? Just give us on a piece of paper the correct position and
Yes.
give them a copy so we understand.
Correct.
where we stand.
I'll
We are
clear
not
it.
taking down something they are saying, something they are
Yes,
saying.
let
You don't
them,
want to-
let them correctly understand it.
Let him say, let him say.
Yes,
clarify.
a need.
But you put it down on one sheet of paper by the afternoon, so
Yes.
we'll then take it as a statement.
Correct.
Because then I don't want later on, applications that you record
Yes,
it wrongly.
There may be in the haste, there may be some confusion because they are jumping on.
So they, Hardayal school grace marks were given.
Yes, the other,
Grace marks were given only in Hardayal school? or-
only in Hardayal Because I am told the reason is that in the other schools, grace period, that is time of loss, was compensated by the center itself. Extra time was given to them, as a result whereof they did not suffer any loss of time.
No, but tell us something.
People
In
say
Hardayal school, the paper was replaced with the correct paper later on?
I am told that both the papers happened to be given. After the confusion, the SBI paper was withdrawn and Canara Bank paper was allowed to be continued. That's a fact.
In Hardayal school?
Yes,
That means in Hardayal school, all students wrote the Canara Bank paper.
All
Be
Canara
firm, put
Yes.
it on a piece of paper
Yes,
so that
we
there
will.
is a
A
responsibility.
piece of paper.
Not just to,
All students wrote the Canara Bank paper at Hardayal school. Why were they given grace marks?
What we will do is, we will prepare the city-wise where this happened and center-wise. Why the different
Give
treatment?
it to us in the
Yeah.
afternoon, we will understand.
Yes, we will.
only one thing, just to put
Were papers replaced and under whose orders were the papers continued?
Yes.
Was NTA monitoring this from Delhi or what happened?
It is monitored from Delhi and communication. It
So
not
did Delhi get to know in the morning that look, the wrong paper has been disputed? That
what time it came to the knowledge and what time the communication, because large number of centers.
Tell us.
not large number.
Now, Mr. Huda, you have to wrap up.
But in fact,
I'm not allowed to proceed by the other side. I
only one thing,
was on
just to put
Hardayal
things
school,
in
there are
perspective.
20 questions on Hardayal school itself.
Malad,
They
only-
made 4
only a
statements with
minute,
regard.
only a minute.
Let me show. Malad,
Only a minute. But my learned friend is arguing that the entire country's examination is vitiated and therefore there should be a retest. My Lord, giving examples of some mistakes
No,
here or
that's a
there.
systemic failure,
out of
my Lord.
4,570 may not, my Lord, serve his purpose of assisting the.
I'm saying there is a systemic failure, and I'm sequentially demonstrate that how the system
come out
was so
from Jajjar
brittle
again. You
and
come out
fragile,
Jajjar,
which
Haryana,
was
then go to
weak
India.
at the wings and fences of these invigilators and city center operators who are private individuals, got nothing to do with the government. With regard to Jajjar, I'm just closing Jajjar, I want to say, in the first response, they said, Hardal school, Canara paper was given, they attempted Canara paper, they evaluated Canara paper, no grace marks were given. This is their stand just now. They have changed it right now. With regard to the other two centers, they say there was a loss of time and that is why grace marks were given. Just now they said it. Now they have again said it with regard to those two centers, no grace marks were given, extra time was given then and there. Who took the decision? My lords have rightly asked the question. Now, with regard to Hardal school, just two fact I want to bring to my lord's notice. A student who got 719 marks in Hardal school with grace marks, they were given re-examination along with this 1563. The same student had, earlier the rank was 68 with 719 marks out of 720. Now the rank is 58,413. With regard to the student who got 718 in the same Hardal school, where the rank was 69, after re-examination, the rank is 38,497. Now they do not know whether Canara Bank was given or initially SBI was given. On 4th of June, they declare one result, that is SBI result. There is no separate key. They did not even disclose on 4th of June that there was loss of time. And that loss of time we have compensated with grace marks. This they had to come out with only when they were confronted with 719 marks and 718 marks, because this is not numerically possible with the number of marks and negative marking. Then they said, now in the entire country what they do is, this NTA has collected about 400 crore rupees from the students. Thereafter, I give example of Seeker now, which is data-wise very important. Seeker has 49 centers in all. Out of 49 center, only one center is this Kendriya Vidyalaya. Rest 48 centers are all private schools, self-financed private schools. All their city coordinator, invigilators, superintendent are all private individuals whom NTA issue checks of 2,000 rupees a day or 2,500 or 1,500 rupees. Now, because this Honorable Court is kind enough to allow me to argue this case because so many people have come to assist me. They've shown me photographs of the school, private school in a village where this exam is being conducted. It doesn't even have a boundary wall. Now, I have not gone through their entire process. I will not call it as SOP. Now, that indicates that at 5:20, the paper is collected by the invigilator. And the OMR sheet is taken. Now, what is the time when this OMR sheet is to be sealed? It's nowhere prescribed. It remains in the center. We have spoken even to the center vigilators. Either 2-3 hours, it keep lying in every center with the center superintendent. And then they have to deposit it somewhere where all the OMR sheets are collected. Like for Seeker, there is one place where OMR sheets are ultimately collected in one center. There is no procedure NTA prescribed at 5:20. This OMR sheet is collected. Then 5:30 it should be sealed in the presence of the students. Because they have trained these invigilators across the country.
At what time do they get deposited with the centralized deposit?
There is no time given. let them file a specific affidavit if they ever in black and white.
How soon after the examination concludes at 5?
Blood, it is-
the sealing process taking place?
Blood, they say that it is 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Ultimately, it gets deposited with the city center.
But before
What
that,
time
when
is
the
the-
sealing takes place?
Blood, this I could not find in their entire SOP. I have placed it before this one.
That's the point.
So, blood, I would say, I will show the data.
Now, Mr. Huda, please go to
Blood,
the
I'm coming to the data, blood.
please complete.
Yes. Now, blood, after analyzing the data, what we find, there are certain centers which are doing exceedingly well. It's not the students, that the centers are doing exceedingly well. Like, blood, Kota and Seeker both have almost equal number of students appearing. Miss Chanchal.
Yes.
The data I wanted to show after giving this background, that after 5:20, there is a lot of time and leeway.
Got your point. You did not read
And
it.
because Kota and Seeker had equal number of students appearing, if we calculate first top centers in the country, getting students having more than 650 marks, then 38 center out of 49 center are only from Seeker.
Getting over 650 marks.
That's right.
38.
38 out of 50.
What is 50?
50 top centers in the entire country.
West more than 650 marks.
That's it. If 650 is taken as a cutoff and we evaluate that what are the top 50 center in the country.
But even one student gets more than 650.
That's it. So all students put together getting more than 650 are from Seeker out of 50.
38 out of 50
Correct.
are from
Seeker. Seeker alone. 38 centers. 6 centers adjoining to Rajasthan, which falls in Haryana. There's a Mahendragarh, Bhiwani. Rewari, Mahendragarh, Bhiwani. And now, Lord, may kindly see this. There are two factors.
Yeah, what I've taken down is that Kota and Seeker centers had broadly equal number of students appearing. Students getting more than 650 marks.
Yes, let me straight away show those charts, Lord.
38 out of 50 are from Seeker alone, 6 in Mahendragarh, Rewari and Bhiwani.
Correct, Lord.
Now show us the chart.
Yes, Lord. Lord, may kindly permit me to refer to my second supplementary note.
You have just given today. No?
Yes, Lord, which was filed, Lord.
Page.
Lord, first annexure, page 13 is their SOP, which I said that there is no time given for sealing after OMR is collected. Then, Lord, the data of top 50 centers, Lord, that is page 101, annexure C. But before that, Lord, allow me to show one more chart at page 100 for a moment, Lord. This again, they have to answer it, Lord, if they can answer it post lunch. The difference in the data declared on 4th of June and 20th of July, page 100, Lord, may kindly see this table. Lord, just see Bihar,
Just one second.
page 100. That's right. Mismatch in the result published on 4th of June 2014 and 20th of July 2024. 4th of June 24 and 20th of July 24.
Yes.
Just see Bihar at serial number 4. As per 4th of June, registered were 1,54,000, appeared 1,49,000 something, qualified 74,743. Now the data on 20th of July. Appeared student 1,36,000. The difference is 13,000. This difference is appearing almost everywhere. And we will respond to that after they respond to it.
Both of June and 20th July, the number of students comes down.
Correct.
Appears to.
That's right. Rajasthan, can you see specifically Rajasthan also for this?
There is something plus also like Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Rajasthan is plus 18,000.
Yes. No, my lord, what happens? My lord, let me explain it. Let me, my lord, explain it for a moment. What happens is, in their system, if I am resident of Rohtak, Haryana, if I fill up an address of Tamil Nadu, I want to go to Sikar. I can simply fill up my address, some address of Sikar, and they will treat me as a student of Sikar. And I will get a center somewhere in Sikar. People have gone from Godhra, Gujarat to Karnataka, Belgaum. One incident is a girl who got 705 marks on 4th of June. She got failed in 12th class and she's getting 31 out of 100 chemistry and so on and so forth. People have traveled from Odisha, Karnataka to Godhra. With regard to this, one professor wrote an email which I have placed on record a month before that this is a scam happening.
How many students had, did we know what their original place is?
What happens is they do not connect it with Aadhaar card or any proof of residence. They open their system, they say you fill up the address of your residence, whatever you feel like, and we will treat it to be your residence address. And we will allocate you center as per the address you give it here. Absolutely no system in place to verify that.
So, are you contending, suppose I am a student, I am ordinarily residing in Delhi. When I fill up my form online, I can choose a center, say in Sikar, or I can fill out a center in somewhere in Tamil Nadu or Kerala.
But I am free to give whatever address I want.
By showing some residence over there.
Not even showing, filling it up. Just I need to type it in.
At what point of time do they verify whether you are actually a resident of that?
At no stage, Lord, may kindly note it.
A student can choose a center in any part of the country.
Any part of the country.
And you don't have to submit any document?
Absolutely no proof, Lord. And there is an email, if I can straight away invite some kind attention to that email for a moment. Professor email.
It's not a change of center, but choice of center.
Choice of center. Page 190 of Lord, this Lord may kindly permit me to.
Writing an email that there is a scam.
No.
Mr. Solicitor, just tell us this later on when your turn comes. Argument is that a student can choose a center of their liking anywhere in the country by saying, I reside there.
Yes.
Does the student at any point of time of the registration process have to produce any documentary material to indicate that they are residents of that place?
I'll answer that. But when I give the figures of seeker, he's taking on seeker, I'll be able to justify that. Success rate has gone down, but we'll be able to show that. Let me come to my place.
How does it work when a center is sought by a student? Student applies for a center or city when you submit an application for it?
City.
Now,
Center is not.
When a student applies for a city, does NTA require the student to upload any document?
Just inquire and Malot.
Absolutely.
Or does that student just choose a city anywhere in the country?
Correct.
You can verify.
Correct. Lord, I just want to point out an email. Like Lord would remember, Kaka College had written them with regard to Godhra a month earlier. In there, they did not act on it. In their reply, they say now they have marked this college Kaka email to some competent authority to look into it. Now, with regard to this, allow me to refer to this email at page 190.
Shows the data. You passed that already before yesterday.
Milord, yes, Milord, I'm coming back. Milord, I'm already on the tables, Milord. Milord, I'm already on the tables. Milord, may kindly see. Yes, Milord, I was page 100. Milord, I'm showing this data. I was at page 100 to demonstrate.
Ultimately, up to now, we have dealt with Hazaribagh, we have dealt with Patna, we have dealt with,
This all will demonstrate.
My lord, give me some time.
Is-
My friend has taken a long, I have no quarrel. I have to attend some other matter. I'll be grateful. I will only take 10 minutes. That I am 10 minutes. My lord, if you go by seniority, I am 66, I am senior. But we have followed a different rule. I have no quarrel.
No.
I have no quarrel.
I every standard, Mr.
No, Mr. Tushar Mehta, you are only 59. Junior to me in bar and age. Yes. Please don't insult seniors. But my lord, I only take 10 minutes.
any group matter, one person leads.
No, my lord, I only take 10 minutes, my lord.
We are also.
No, because I believe that he is.
Second, Mr. Nedumbara, it would be wrong to say that he has taken time. We are also.
No, I am not blaming anybody, my lord. I am only requesting 10 minutes to be given to me. Then, my lord, I relieve me. That's all. 10 minutes to me.
Certainly.
10 minutes to me, my lord. If I can, before lunch, my lord, I have another matter to me. I am taking adjournment after adjournment, Madras High Court. I want to appear online.
All right.
So 10 minutes.
I was page 100 the table just to demonstrate the mismatch, and this is for them to explain that how the number of candidates who appeared in a particular state has gone down from the result declared on 4th of June to the result declared on 20th of July. Then, Milord, at page 101, annexure C is the list of top 50 centers, which indicates, Milord, that how these centers are concentrated in Sikar.
This is very important. Just one second.
Yes.
Let's go closely on this.
Milord, I have given the center code, number of students appeared, how many students above 700, then the percentage of 700 plus, above 650, percentage of above 650, above 600, percentage of above 600, and then above 550. I have gone only up to above 550. Now, this will show a concentration. The concentration here is, Milord, primarily Sikar. Milord, may kindly see this. Rajkot, there is one station at Rajkot, Milord, where the total number of students is 1968. Center code, where 12 students above 700. 115 above 615. There is something special with Rajkot, this center code. That's right. Then will it Seeker after Rajkot, 1000 students, 8 are above 700.
9 are above.
And then, Milord, I'm on next item, Seeker Rajasthan. Out of 1001 student appearing, 8 above 700, then 69 above 650, and 115 above 600. And then, Milord, 41 above 550. And Lord, also kindly keep it in mind, CP coordinators are the owners of these schools, and these are private schools. And the invigilators are the employees of these private schools. And the possibility cannot be ruled out that these teachers are not in league with the the coaching centers, my lord, which are operating in Kota and Sikar.
Are what? Are the city coordinators are government employees or they're private
They
employees?
are principals of the particular school which
Private
is.
schools.
Sorry?
Principal of the school where the center is located.
Private schools.
City coordinators.
City coordinator.
Yes, sir.
They will be city coord.
It's completely privatized.
Principal of CBSE school is the city coordinator.
No, there is, in Sikar, there is no CBSE school, there is only one, this Kendriya Mahavidyalaya, 48 are the private schools. And CBSE affiliated, not CBSE run.
They are all CBSE schools.
CBSE affiliated school.
But they are CBSE affiliated schools, not CBSE run schools.
Top 50, you are saying that there is a concentration of seeker.
Correct. Please see this table, my lord. It shows all Sikar. 38 of them, my lord. What a coincidence, my lord. I'm sure, my lord, consistently, even the last year also, this, my lord, even last year also and last to last year also, this Sikar must be doing well for the reason. Because all these private schools, my lord, they are together, CBSE affiliated or Rajasthan board affiliated. Now, one of them is a city coordinator, the rest are the invigilator. And my lord,
But fellows, Mr. Huda, assuming that it is so, I mean, can that be one, a ground to cancel the entirety of the exam all over the country? Or two, to cancel the exam for seeker as a
no, my lord, what I say, I bow down.
That we should a retest for seeker.
What I humbly submit is,
Sufficient data in itself.
If all over the country, there are 6 people per 1,000 who get above 600 all over the country. That's the average. And in each place in Sikar, you get 75, you get 80. That's the
Just let's see this, what you have
country
submitted
average.
over here.
Please, the reference value is the country average.
तो डाउनलोड करके पहले उसको भी मैग्नीफाई इसको देखने में
Not- my lord, what I humbly submit is,
a paper copy of that page.
Words only.
yes, my lord, it's there. My lord.
Less than 10.
15 दे दिया. Give 3. This is not 100, 500 and above. This is not really that too.
It's about that percentage. But Mr. Hegde, about what?
6 people per 1,000, that's 0.6%, is on an average, that's the national, that should be the reference value. Now, if your lordship takes the first one in Rajasthan, or see the Vidya Bharati Public School, let us see how many of them have gotten. So above 550, which gets you a state, there are 241 students who have got above 550
Out of 1,000.
out of 1,000 students. 1 in 4 students.
But this is alluding towards systemic failure. And all these people are not from Sikar. They have come from all over the country. They are not people who have taken coaching from Sikar.
How do you
Because of this systemic failure.
say that they have not taken coaching from?
No, because if I compare it,
Don't make statements.
hold on please. If I compare it with Kota is the coaching
Kota
hub.
and Sikar are education
And
hubs.
yes,
People from
now,
students from
and
all over
number
the
of
country
students appeared
stay
in
there.
Kota.
Hostels, PG accommodations. It's a coaching class. So don't say that they are not wrong. They are not.
Belgavi, in Karnataka, is not a coaching hub where a girl goes from, Anjali Patel goes from Gujarat to Belgavi. She fails, she appears in 12th class standard in Gujarat because she's from Gujarat. She failed, but she went all the way to Belgavi, got 705 marks. And what I'm told is the CBSE syllabus of 12th is completely in align with the syllabus of NEET examination. So it's not possible somebody getting 31 in botany out of 100 and getting 700.
Have you shown data from that center in Belgavi where she appeared? Were the people getting high marks unusually large at that center?
Lord, there are.
Too much show us.
Lord, I will. If I will show all these tables in seriatim, Lord, I will show that. So, Lord, this table at 101 indicates there is a heavy tilt. Seeker, because there is a systemic malaise which has worked in favor of the students appearing in these centers in Sikar. We cannot separate the tainted from the untainted. All these private people, the person who is doing videography, I give just one example here. Their emphasis is that we videograph everything at all these centers. Though they are private people, in Savai Madhopur, may I have Lord's attention just for a moment? Their emphasis is that though all these are private people, all the city coordinators, invigilators, but our CCTV monitoring is so robust that we catch them. In case of Savai Madhopur, it is their own case that a wrong question paper was distributed in a different language. And the question paper started at 2 p.m. They got to know, this is on record, and they reply on record to say that we got to know that wrong question paper has been given in Savai Madhopur, Rajasthan at 4:30 from the social media. They are on affidavit to say this. If
do you establish, we made this point about Sikar, etc. How do you establish that the paper leak, according to you, has spread all over the country? What is the material for you to indicate?
On that, my lord, I'm on a second point now. So far as paper leak is concerned,
Part of this case is the paper leak, right?
not only that, my lord, my very predominant argument besides paper leak is their systems are so fragile, which are being consistently compromised because everybody is private. They are issuing just checks in the name of some videographer sitting in Delhi, some coordinator in the city who are the owners of the private school and the principals. They have absolutely no check.
Tell us one thing. We'll ask you something frankly. Are you challenging the result of this NEET, or are you appealing for people who don't want the NEET at all?
No, no, no. What I'm pointing out that this NTA, the way it is holding this examination can't be sustained for the reason that there is absolutely no system in place. Lord, as I was pointing out, just allow me a moment on here.
It would be also far-fetched to say that there is
Lord, let me show you. Lord,
loophole. We will address them.
but Lord, the loopholes are being exploited on the face of it. The data is being shown.
Oh, you have to show us. So there is the systemic destruction of the sanctity of the exam.
Lord, on that,
Cross India.
one thing, Lord,
You have basically concentrated on Hazaribagh. You have concentrated on Patna. You have shown us some examples
Lord,
from
I have shown.
Bahadurgarh. What happened in Bahadurgarh?
let me,
Now
let
you
me,
are
Lord,
one
quickly,
student from
what is
Gujarat
the,
goes to Belgavi and gets associate's grade.
the
Where have you demonstrated before us a
systemic
case?
failure? Lord, what is the systemic failure and what is the malaise in this system which they have adopted for this examination? If I count them Lord, quickly, one is the time gap after the OMR sheets are taken and the time being deposited. It is in the private hands where there is no time fixed for sealing it and in whose presence these OMR sheets are being sealed. I'm alluding toward a systemic failure that Lord, here in Sikar, Mahendragarh, wherever this concentration is happening, the OMR sheets are being consistently tampered with after the exam is over. Lord, as is being suggested by the government of India that the question paper could be sold in 1 hour and in another hour the students could do it. In the same manner, after taking the OMR sheet at 5:20, the entire staff in the college, which is a private school and all private invigilators, they have the question paper with them. And they have 2-3 hours with them. What prevents them from filling up the OMR sheets and then depositing it with the city center? So it is this loophole which is being exploited here in Sikar and all these centers, Lord, which are a shining star in the entire sky. Belgavi, Lord, why a girl who failed in Gujarat goes all the way to Belgavi? Lord, the reason is this, not only paper leak. Lord, I'm on a next point.
Now tell us that girl who went to Belgavi, all right, we'll take it to the prima facie suspicious case.
Yes, sir.
The center where she appeared from, what is the performance of that center?
Yes, Lord, I have that.
6% success ratio and 7% success ratio. And Belgaum,
Lord,
2% success
Lord,
ratio.
about
I
8
show those
people
things.
are, Lord, Belgavi is not a coaching center. Lord, the one reason, Lord, the third thing I want to allude to,
Centers in Sikar. How many centers in Sikar?
Sikar is 49 centers.
How many students in Sikar?
Yes, the total number of, yes, Lord, we have the data. 27,000. Lord, this is, just allow me, Lord. Total number is 27,216.
Students.
That's right. 49 centers. Lord, it is at page 10.
27,216 students from Sikar.
That's right.
How many students, what is the cutoff to be in the first 108,000?
About
If
580.
your lordships can give me only 5 minutes to show my charts, Lord, that might answer most of your lordships'
Lord,
questions.
I'm
Rather than going all around.
I'm on a complete, Lord, just allow me to
All
complete.
right, 27,216 students. Just tell us.
8,000 of them have got above 500.
How many?
8,225 have got above 500.
Yes, Lord, this is the data at page 103. Lord, this data is there at page 103. Lord, we can just see this.
Now tell us, Mr. Solicitor, what would be the cutoff for broadly for the 108,000? The last
Yeah,
group
yeah.
to be in the zone of admission to a medical college.
Yes.
What would be the cutoff?
Varies from state to state.
Cutoff is not different.
Varies from state to state. But if you've got above around 600, you are reasonably safe that you will get something.
No, my learned friend is.
It will vary from state to state because state domicile comes in.
And just, but I have put that figure also. If you are having marked 600, you will stand at 81,000 in first 81,000. I have given my lord each wise 60, 600, 605, etc. etc. I'll show you. So a person getting 600 will, in all probability, will not get in at least government medical college for the simple reason that though we are counting 50%, total seats are 108,000. 50% would be about one half, but from that 50%, 50% will go for SC, ST, OBC and EWS reservation. So merit candidates seats would be available would be 25,000. I have not given, we have done the analysis from various angles to show what is the impact, if at all, at the national level.
No.
So therefore, today we are trying to understand, we are trying to look into to what extent this leak precipitated in the entire country. If it is a case of systemic failure, that stands on a different footing.
Yes.
Because these are two different things. It is because of this paper leak, you are now able to demonstrate before us various irregularities, illegalities. Maybe, you may be right. But at this point of time, digressing from the issue of paper leak, to what extent can we now go into the question of systemic failure? Because we are trying to examine whether this leak led to that girl securing 705 marks at Belaguri despite failing in 12th standard. Let us address the issue in this manner, whether these candidates at SECUT who have performed exceedingly well, is it because of that paper leak?
I bow down.
There are
I quite
two
understand.
compartments.
These are two compartments.
There are two compartments.
So far as
One
leak is
talks
concerned.
about paper leak and to what extent the students took advantage of that leak.
Let me answer your lordship's question.
Please take your seat, Mr. Nedumbara. These are bad manners, bad manners. I am not very sophisticated like my Lord the Chief Justice. You may feel bad. Please, please. 3 times I have said, please, quiet, we have 2 minutes to go. We are making Mr. Huda understand what is going on in our mind so that he can respond after recess. Therefore, you come to your note.
Yes.
You come to your note, paragraph 8.
Yes, Lord.
That's the heart. That's the heart of your case.
When you say that
Just-
there's a leak that's gone to other states, where is there to, what is there any contemporary evidence to indicate that the leak went to other states?
Lord, the only thing on that I can say on paper leak is, Lord, so far as direct evidence of this crime is concerned, that the file is before this honorable court, matter is being investigated. As petitioners who are not privy to the investigation, either by the Bihar police or now by the CBI, all we can rely on is a circumstantial evidence. In the circumstantial evidence,
Therefore, falling back on an alternative hypothesis that because of the systemic flaws in the process, therefore the credibility of the examination must have been breached in other
I'm
states.
so grateful.
That's your case.
That's
your
my case. On that, Lord, I have just 4
We
things to highlight.
we do not have evidence to show that there was a leak in other states. But because of these flaws in the examination process, therefore it's likely that
This
sanctity of
inflation-
examination, and you have pointed out 3 aspects: time gap between the conclusion of the examination and the sealing of the OMR sheets, and absence of an SOP. 2, staff at the college may well tamper with the OMR sheets without depositing them. 3, There is no address verification of the center chosen by the student.
That's
These are the three aspects.
That's right. Now, my lord, and
Anything else now what remains?
because of,
We'll have to call upon the others.
yes, I'm so grateful. And my lord, it is because of this that there is an evidence, and they maybe put to the question this, that how people from Gujarat going to Bellary, how people from Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra coming into Godhra, and how people from Bihar, if this investigation is carried out, my lord, would find people from Bihar have gone to Muktsar, Punjab. If these addresses are checked, that will show that
Even to any of these services.
she could have chosen, Lord, I mean, this is a connection. She got a connection.
I asked you, that center at Belgavi, does it have any, does it show any untoward results?
Lord, it is there. Lord, this Belgavi, this is 8R plus 700 and 71R plus 650. I have the chart, I will give it post lunch.
Also, Mr. Uda, in many professional examinations, I don't want to name them, otherwise this will become another national story tomorrow. That, in many professional examinations, students do choose centers in a particular zone or whatever, because there is a perception that the marking on the curve is a little more lenient or a little more strict in certain centers. And you not mention those examinations. That may be, that may not be strong evidence to cancel the whole examination per se.
Lord, this one.
These systemic flaws which are pointed out, we'll put to the solicitor, because these obviously have to be tightened up. Because they have to be tightened up. But as of now, I don't think you have indicated to us, and we'll give you now 5 minutes and we'll conclude your argument after lunch. So we'll hear the others and then wrap up.
5 minutes after lunch.
After lunch, 5 minutes. So that you can conclude, now summarize what you have argued in 5 minutes and then we will go on to the next person.
Your Lordship will give me a little time. A little time, not much.
Sorry?
Your Lordships will give me a little time, not much.
And about marks and sustaining of the answers.
There are several things
Anybody who now wants to follow will have to give something over and above what has been argued.
Please.
Buddha has taken up the entire record now.
But after lunch, your lordship give me 10-15 minutes, then I'll relay me, my lord.
I
I wanted to say something which
I might even take it.
something which they haven't said.
We'll come back after.
Your Lordships, may I please mention items 12 and 35?